which is Prince Walker Ayeni.
Yeah.
Moss Side, stabbed a few days from his
18th
18th
birthday.
birthday.
A few days ago, yeah.
Now, just before you comment on this, I lived in Moss Side when I was 18 or 19, because I was at University of Manchester. This was in the 80s. And I know you don't believe it, viewers, but that is my age. And we had a flat in the Crescents. Do you remember the Crescents?
Yeah.
Crescents, for our younger viewers, were massive blocks that were built in Moss Side in the shape of a crescent. The idea would be kind of a beautiful social, and it just became an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
There were muggings. The structure of the way it worked was people were being assaulted in dark alleyways.
Yeah. It was all back runs, dead ends.
Yeah, it was horrific, and they demolished them. But I actually had a flat as a student with my fellow students in there, and it was a rough place. And when we were there then, there were lots of stabbings. And we now go forward 40 years, and it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's still happening. Young men are being stabbed in Moss Side. And they've changed it. They've demolished the Crescents. They built nice flats now for people to live in. But it's tragic that a 17-year-old man, a young black man, was killed there.
For the first couple of years of my life, I lived in Hume, just off Denmark Road, so I know Moss Side.
Yeah, I know
really
Denmark
well.
Road as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mallardale Close?
No.
That was another place I had a flat around.
I used to work in a shop on what was it? Summit West. What's that road called? Anyway.
I may have come in and bought a pack of cigarettes from you.
Yeah. So I know Moss Side really well. I've worked in Moss Side. I was raised in Longside. I had friends. I had a girlfriend in Moss Side. This kid, 17 years old, nearly 18, nearly his birthday, stabbed to death by 2 or 3 16-year-olds. They're in court now. They've been arrested. A couple of days ago, another tragedy of how we're allowing this to happen. This has happened over decades for many reasons. Theresa May is part of the problem, and she reduced stop and search across the country. Weak politicians are partly to blame because they allowed the race grifters from the 70s to blame stop and search on being racist. But more black people, more young black men are stopped with stop and search because more young black men are involved in crime to do with drugs, to do with guns, to do with knives.
Although you're not allowed to say that.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
That's why they were stopped more. Old Chinese women are never stopped for stop and search because
Perhaps they should be.
They don't stab anyone to death. So we need to understand why we're stopping people, and because we don't, young black men are dying.
I think if I became mayor, just for my own amusement, I'd ask the police to stop old Chinese women as well.
Maybe we would discover something.
Yes.
They could be the Chinese mafia
Exactly.
smuggling drug mules.
The most unlikely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think yes, we need to increase more stop and search for young black men, but also old Chinese women as well, just in case.
Yes.
Yeah. Leave everybody else alone.
Excellent.
That
might be my policy.
Take a note. Yeah. But give me the credit. Sorry. Carry
so this.
So what you're saying, seriously though, what you're saying is, and you're right, crime, violent crime, knife crime is more predominant amongst black people than it is amongst the other race. So there is a direct correlation and a logic to doing that. But as a result of, as you said, Theresa May and other policies, that disproportionality in terms of stop and search has been taken away. Yeah. Because
and then we need to ask, well, why are young black men more likely to carry knives? Part of it is cultural. I remember you telling me a few podcasts ago that your dad always had a machete.
I always had a machete.
Yeah, in this country.
Yeah.
Always had a machete.
I've no idea where he got it from.
Yeah.
He always had a machete.
Because he came from Trinidad and they all had machetes. So part of this is cultural. Part of it is immigration. The vast majority, the vast influx of new migrants from the Caribbean, from Africa, from other countries who are more culturally prone to carry knives and use violence and stab people. Yeah. So all these things have happened at the same time that the police have been told to reduce stop and search on black people because of cowardice of politicians. So, and then we've also got rap culture, urban culture, basically American black culture coming over here. as a heavy influence, which is more around respect and violence, and we don't shoot people in this country as much as we stab them, only because we don't have guns as much. So in America, you disrespected me, I'll shoot you in the head, I'll pop a cap. In this country, I'll stab you. Yeah, so I'm down with the youth, me.
I think you'll get the youth vote given that. But can I ask a question? And bear in mind, I've been branded a racist a number of times on this show. You said something interesting. You said, well, you know, why do black people commit more knife crime or whatever it might be? Is it the job of the police to actually ask that question?
No, it's politicians' job.
Right. Okay.
Politicians' job to ask why, so they can start putting in policies to try to reduce that in the cohort we know are committing those types of crimes.
Yes.
There's no point having a anti-knife policy that works with everybody in the community. No, we don't need to be working with 50, 60, 70 year olds. We need to be working with the young ones. So we need to understand the demographic so we can have solutions aimed at that demographic.
Yeah, because there's two separate issues here, aren't there? There's it's cause and effect. The police are meant to treat the cause. They're not meant to deal... Sorry, the effect. They're not meant to deal with the cause.
Yes.
So I can't see how stop and search should have been reduced for black people, because that effectively emasculates the police from doing their job.
Yeah.
Their job, we're paying them for, is to deal with what is happening, the reality of what is happening.
Yeah.
Not to try and analyse and be political in that process. And that kind of blurring of the line between those two things is what is causing the problem.
It is, and that's because the police have political overlords.
Yes, yeah.
And that's where the confusion comes from.
Yeah.
Now, how am I going to get around this problem of being called a racist and a Nazi and having riots in Moss Side? Will be, I'm going to have mini referendums in neighbourhoods like Moss Side.
Okay.
And it'll be on the polling day of the local election, so it'll be official. You'll turn up to vote in Moss Side and you'll be given another ballot paper saying, do you want more or less stop and search in your area in Moss Side?
Yeah.
And if the people of Moss Side vote for more stop and search, they get it.
Right.
If they vote for less the same amount of stop and search, that's what they get. But when their children get stabbed to death, don't come complaining to the police or the mayor because we offered you solutions, you turned them down. But I know from first-hand experience, every parent in Moss Side will be ticking that box.
I was going to say, what are your instincts about...
More stop and search.
Yeah, I think that will be the case. I think that will be the case in all areas.
All areas.
Yeah, I think that will be the case in all areas. But that's...
Parents are worried sick their children are not going to come home.
Yeah, yeah.
So, of course, have the police stop people and catch knives, because my child might be a bit embarrassed being stopped and searched. It's not a nice process. But I'd rather my child goes through that than seeing him for the last time in the morgue.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because just what you said now just brings something very much at home to mind, which is that my son lives in London and he lives in Stockwell, which is south of the river, next to Brixton. And Anna is genuinely worried when he goes to London about him, because she reads about the stabbings. A lot of them there was a recent murder, I think, in Stockwell. In London. Yeah. And it's a sad state of affairs, that, because I would say that 20 years ago that wasn't a concern. It probably was 30 or 40 years ago. I think there was more violence there. It seemed to have stopped, and now it seems to be happening again, doesn't it? And the same seems to be happening in Manchester, judging from this. Yeah. It's increasing all over the country. I think over the last 7 years, under Andy Burnham, I think violent crime has increased by 79%. I hope he's mentioned that in his manifesto. No, he hasn't. We'll raise it for him in a minute. Yeah, we'll help him. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.